Hello book besties and welcome to my channel. I'm Maddie and today I'm going to be talking about some books. So if you've seen some of my previous videos on my channel, then you've probably seen my finishing unfinished book series reading vlogs. I have 2 out. So I have a major problem of not finishing book series that I've started. And those reading vlogs are me trying to tackle that problem. I just realized that I haven't gone over with you guys my unfinished book series. So today I thought I would go through all the book series I have yet to finish, and then you guys can be fully informed about my deeply rooted problem and come along with me as I finish all of these, because they will all be finished one day, I swear. I have made a lot of progress since starting this journey of mine. So a couple months ago, I filmed a reel going through these, and I think I counted 37 unfinished book series. Today, I'm proud to announce that I am down to 22. So I have done a great job, and part of that is because I'm starting to realize that it's okay to DNF some of these book series. And so I thought I would start today's video out with the book series that I'm DNFing, because I don't DNF books because I'm just I gotta read it, but book series, I need to let myself do that because some of these are long and I just shouldn't dedicate that much of my time to something I don't enjoy. So we're gonna go over some of the book series that I have DNF'd. So first up, we have We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I read this 2 years ago. I did not like it in the slightest. I think I would have liked it if I read it when I was much younger, but I think reading this at the time that I did, I've just read so many amazing books that this just did not compare. And I just did not care for the main character. She was just so bland and boring. This one follows, I don't even know her name, but it follows this girl who goes to this island with her family every summer, and something major kind of happened a couple years back, and it's just a book of uncovering family secrets and trying to discover things that had happened. I really don't know how the best way to explain this book, but it is a very summary mystery, and I just did not enjoy it. But it does have a prequel now, so I consider that as a series technically, and it's just I'm not gonna read that prequel. I have no interest, and that's just not something I'm going to ever dedicate my time to. So this is a DNF. I would say unfortunately, but I literally didn't like this so much I forgot about the prequel. When preparing for this video, my roommate had to point this out to me. So yeah, I don't feel bad about that one. It's just not good, okay? Next I have, oh, can you not tell what this book is? It's because it has no cover. This actually was my brother's old book. Dogs attacked it. But it is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I love this show. I actually just recently rewatched it with my roommate. It's such a great show. Horrible ending, but great show. I tried to read the books. Okay, granted, I picked this up when I was 15. I didn't finish it until I was 18. I'm not kidding. It's just not one of those books that I could just sit down and read. I would just read it sporadically at random times, and I'm just not going to dedicate my time to the rest of the series. Especially when I've seen the show, and I feel like the show pretty much captures the books accurately, in the best way that it can. I feel like it does, so I just have no need to read 7 books of these, especially when it took me so long to read the first one. The writing's so dense and so slow, and that's gonna be a no for me. Next, I am DNFing a classic, a modern day classic series. And I just think I ran out of time with this one. My era to read this one was over. I don't even know when. 5 years ago at least. And that is Matched by Ali Condi. This book series was popular in the era of dystopians when Divergent and The Hunger Games and all those amazing books were coming out. And I enjoyed Matched at the time. I really did. Honestly, when I first read this book, I really liked it. It is about this world where they match you with your soulmate, I guess. this person they believe to be the best match for you. And our main character gets 2 matches, but one of them isn't actually allowed to be matched with anybody because of some weird legal thing with his parents. So it leads to a love triangle between her and these 2 matches. The world is very interesting, and it is a very interesting concept. I really enjoyed the first one. I think when I first read the second book, Reached? I think it's Reached. I DNF'd it at the time, thinking I would come back to it, and then I just never did. I just didn't like it, and I just don't see myself picking this back up again, especially when there are so many amazing books out there that I can spend my time on. So this one is going to be a DNF. I think time just ran its course with that one. Next is the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett, and this was a recent decision of mine. I started February out by reading the second book, Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, I believe, and the third book just came out. But the thing is that I don't like these books. This one was fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. I saw the potential. I was so bored reading the second one, and I just couldn't care less about anything. So I think I'm going to make the decision to DNF it. And typically, the old Maddie would just force her way through it, read the last book, and call it done. I don't really care enough to do that. So I am calling it quits on Emily Wilde. This one follows Emily Wilde as she's trying to write her Encyclopedia of Fairies. In this book, it takes her to this land. Oh man, I don't even remember. It's just very cold, and I don't even know really how to describe it, but she gets caught up in the world of fairies, but also kind of becomes close with these townsfolk in this place that she's staying, and it is really sweet, but I just couldn't really connect to her as a character. The romance did feel kind of forced, and I just really couldn't get into it, which is tragic because it really did have so much potential. And I've seen so many of my favorite creators, like I believe Katie's Reading absolutely adores those books. And I feel bad for not, because I'm like, what are you seeing that I'm not here? I couldn't get into it. The next one, I'm actually very pleased to say I'm DNFing, and that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This follows Peyton, who has no powers, but she lives in a world where that is literally illegal, which is funny because you think it'd be the other way around. So I did like that concept of it. And she is forced to enter this very Hunger Games-esque competition that basically is pointless. She's just trying to hide the fact that she has no powers by pretending she is a psychic, and she gets involved with both the princes. And it's just very complicated and boring, and it's the same 3 scenes happening over and over again in this entire book. And I did not like it, literally at all. I am the number 1 Powerless hater, actually. I'm very pleased to claim that title. I think a couple months ago, I was like, you know what, I will finish this series. I want to be a part of everything. Honestly, it really would have just been me hating on it. Like, it would have been me hate reading this. And I feel like, what's the point in that? Like, I will hate read a single book. Like, if I started it, hated it, I'll finish it. I will hate read the rest of it. But I don't need to do that for an entire series. Like, I'm not going to enjoy my time, and there are just better things to spend my time on. So, this one's a DNF. I will not be continuing the series. So, if you want to tell me everything that happens and how bad it gets, please do. Please tell me how cringy and forced and everything is. I'll be so happy to hear, but I will not be reading it for myself. And I do have some DNFs that I don't own physically, so I have Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. I got this one as a e-arc from Penguin Teen. It's not that this book was bad, I just didn't like it. I couldn't get into it. This one follows... I couldn't even tell you. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. All I know is that it has special editions of it with Fairy Loot, and it was a Goodreads nominee for, I think, YA Fantasy, and I don't see how, because nothing happened in that entire book. So That one is unfortunate, but I believe it has a sequel coming out, I believe. Will not be reading it. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I read this last summer, and I did not like it one bit. And it follows our main character who's wanting to become a scientist, I think specifically, what's coroner? Maybe not a coroner. She wants to become a scientist. I don't know if she specifically wants to be a coroner or she just works with a lot of dead bodies to learn more, but she does work with a lot of dead bodies. So she's working with her uncle to become a scientist in the 1800s, which as a woman, that's a no-no, but she's still doing it. Go her. She does make that her entire personality, I will say that. And of course, in England at the time, Jack the Ripper is running a rampage and she wants to solve the mystery to help her uncle. So I was just very bored. I didn't like the main character. I couldn't really get into any of the characters, really. And I really did not like the ending and how it solved the Jack the Ripper mystery and who it had be the Ripper. And there are 4 of these. What do they do in each of these 4s? I know one of them deals with Dracula, but like obviously it's not Dracula. And I just have no interest in continuing them. I can't even imagine how the rest of the books are and what goes on in them because it feels like there shouldn't be more. But there are, so that's unfortunate. Okay, for this next one, I do need to make a very special apology to Elsa. Elsa, if you're watching, I'm very sorry about what I'm about to say, but I will be DNFing the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black for the foreseeable future. I always said that maybe I'd go back to it, but honestly, it's been 3 years since I first read it, and I have yet to go back to it. I don't think I will be. I thought reading it, Jude and Cardan are one of the most toxic couples I have ever come across and will ever come across. And I just really couldn't care less about them. So that's going to be a DNF. I don't think I'm going to dedicate more of my time to that. And the next is The Encanto's Daughter by Melissa de la Cruz. I believe the sequel just came out. I hated this book. I believe I rated it a 1 star. I think it was my lowest rating of last year. I got it as an e-arc from Penguin Teen, and I hated it. That's all I'm going to say. I did not like anything about that book. And then The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I read the first book my junior year of high school. It's about 4 years ago. I didn't really like it. It was compared to Six of Crows, which I can totally see the comparison. And I don't really remember why I didn't like it. I think at the time I was like, oh, I'll probably continue the series, and just never did. Now I just don't think I'm going to go back to it. So, follows these 6 characters as they go on a heist. It's very historical fiction with magic, which is really cool. And it does have a lot of diverse characters, which I really did appreciate. But I don't know, just something about it wasn't for me. And I can't remember what, but I don't think I'll be returning to that series. So those are all the book series that I am DNFing. So now let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about the book series that I still need to finish. First, I have The Infinity Cycle by Adam Silvera. The 3rd book, I would say just came out. It came out last March, I think, and I just missed that memo. So I just recently bought this one for myself. I was not expecting, however, it to be so chunky. It follows these 2 brothers, and one of them is really obsessed with the superheroes that live in their society. And then one of the brothers, the other one, gets powers and starts to become one of these, and the other brother goes into a jealous rampage. I love Adam Silvera and his writing, and I absolutely adore They Both Die at the End, and I really enjoyed this one as well. It is a YA urban fantasy that's queer, and it's just one of those books that's just unapologetically queer, and I just love it. Half the characters in this are gay, and it's amazing. So I can't wait to finish this one, but I don't know when that will be happening, because I read his writing really fast. It's very easy to fly through, but it's just so long, and I just know that I have to be in the mood for a book this long. So I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but I promise I will. Next, I need to finish the Dream Harbor series by Lori Gilmore. This one just follows these different romances taking place in the town of Dream Harbor, and they're very cozy. I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe pretty recently. It's actually in my first finishing unfinished book series reading vlog. If you want to go check that out, I think I rated it 3.5, 3 stars. I didn't love it nearly as much as I did The Christmas Tree Farm. Oh my gosh, I adored this book, and it was perfect for the holiday season. So now I need to read The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Weirdly enough, this is book number 2, but it is a series of interconnected standalones, so you can read them a little bit out of order, and I just really wanted to read this one for Christmas, so that's what I did. And this one I think is supposed to be a little bit summery, but I don't mind reading it out of season. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be 5 of these at some point. I don't know when they're coming out. I'll just keep up with them as they come out. I would love to catch up on it before any of the other ones came out, so I do want to read this one fairly soon. Very excited for that one, and that one's going to take me like no time at all to read because I literally read The Christmas Tree Farm in a day. I honestly really enjoy these books. They're just cute, cheesy. Next is a series I never thought would be on this list, but a novella came out this last winter, and that is the Caraval series. So Spectacular just came out this last Christmas season, and I didn't read it. I don't want to buy it because it wouldn't match my current editions, but I want to read it. I honestly really haven't heard much other than the fact that the book itself is absolutely gorgeous. So maybe this coming Christmas season I will treat myself and get it, even though it won't match my current editions. It'll still be gorgeous, and I will still be getting more content. So the Caraval series, which I finished forever ago, is now back to unfinished because a novella came out, which it happens and I can't complain. I mean, seriously, I'm getting more content of a series that I really did love, so I will not be complaining about that one. Another one I am literally so excited is on this list. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. The sequel, Somewhere Beyond the Sea, came out this last year, and if you told me like 2 or 3 years ago that we were getting a sequel for this, I would have cried. Oh my gosh. I have been waiting to read it because I wanted to wait to buy it until it comes out in paperback because all my TJ Klune books are in paperback. But at this point, I need to get it on Libby or for my library because, guys, I adore this book. I don't even know how to explain the joy this book brings me. It follows Linus, who works for like family services, and he gets put on assignment to check out this orphanage, and this is a very magical world. Okay, so this orphanage has like magical children, and like that includes a gnome, a shapeshifter, a green blob, and the Antichrist, and a dragon. It's just really, what more could you want? And of course, what does he do but fall in love with their caretaker? Literal found family, like an actual literal found family, and it's queer. That's like the formula for the perfect book. So I cannot wait to read Somewhere Beyond the Sea. I cannot wait to I can't wait to, I'm just gonna keep gushing. Okay, I need to move on, but I want you guys to know how happy I am that this is a series now. And then, speaking of TJ Klune, another series of his I need to finish is the Wolfsong series. Is it called the Wolfsong series? Green Creek. The Green Creek series. I've only read the first one. I actually read this one digitally, and then my roommate, for Christmas, bought me all 4 of them. Literally could cry. Screaming, crying out of all the love. So I need to finish these books. There are 4, and I've only read the first one, so I still need to read Raven Song, Heart Song, and Brother Song. And these books are very found family and very queer. So again, the perfect formula for a perfect book. The next book series is actually one that I'm about to catch up on, so stay tuned for that. But that is the Red Rising series. So there is 6 books in the series so far. I believe more will be coming out. But there is Red Rising, Golden Sun, Morning Star, Iron Gold, Dark Rise, and then Lightbringer. And I'm on Lightbringer right now. But they take place in this world where there's a hierarchy based on colors, and like gold is the highest color, red is the lowest, and it follows a red as he gets turned into a gold. And basically starts a revolution that kills half the population. At least that's what it feels like. So the last 3 books in the series are so long. It literally took me a month to read Dark Age. I'm not kidding. And I'm currently on Lightbringer, but I'm trying to read that one as fast as I can because my loan for it's about to expire. But it is a good series, very science fiction, very heavy on war and politics, but it is a good series. Like, it just is. And I enjoy most of the characters for the most part. Weirdly enough, the main character is one of my least favorite ones, but we're not going to dive into that right now. So I can't wait to finish this book series here soon, or at least catch up on it. I haven't heard any updates on the newest one. Actually, shall we check? I have my computer because I religiously track everything on Notion, and that includes my unfinished book series. So, what's that? Book 7. So the 7th book will be called Red God, and it looks like there's like no other information other than the title, so no release date or anything. But Red God will be the final book in that series. So whenever that comes out, I probably won't read it right away because when do I ever? And I'm very close to finishing that series, which I love finishing series. Next I have, it's not even a classic. Nobody knows these are books, I feel like, but that is the 100 book series by Cass Morgan. If you don't know, this is a CW show. I think it's CW, right? Yeah, CW. This TV series was my entire personality throughout junior high, so I want to read their books. I've read the first one like twice. I think each time I read it, I have the mindset that I will continue the book series, and then I don't. So I won't be rereading it again when I pick it up. So I do need to read the other 3 in the book series, and that is Day 21, Homecoming, and Rebellion. Are these books good? Maybe not. Do I care? No. It gives me the Bellamy and Clark content that I deserved to get from the show, okay? That's why I'm reading these books. It is for them and them only. This book series follows these 100 teenagers. Okay, rewind. Earth is like wiped out, and all the survivors live in space now because of radiation and war. And the space colony that these people are living on is kind of running out of time. So they decide to send 100 teenagers that are like delinquents, they are all in prison, down to Earth to test things out for them. Horrible. Oh my gosh. This book series just follows them figuring out life on the ground and how things have changed and trying to get their people back down to Earth before they all die. So it is a very interesting time. The show gets really weird. Like, after season 3, it's no longer what it was intended to be. The Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I have definitely fallen out of love with this book series as each book comes out. This book series is literally long done. I read this book my 7th grade year, and now I'm 20. So it's a long time coming. I need to finish these books. I have read the first 3, Red Queen, Glass Sword, and King's Cage. Read all of those ones. I just need to read these 2. So technically Warstorm is the last in the series, and you will not catch me rereading those ones, okay? I will be looking up a summary of everything that happened in them and then continuing on in this one whenever that is. I don't know when that will be. But this is the last one, and then this one I think is just a whole bunch of short stories. But I do want to read it. Like, it's a part of the series, I own it, and I just need to get to it, and I don't know when that will be. If you don't know, Red Queen follows Mare as she has red blood. Normal. Everyone has red blood. Actually, only the lower class have red blood, and the upper class, the elites, have silver blood, and they have powers. Very cool. But one day when Mare is, I think she's just catering a party for the royalty, or she's working as a caterer because she needs money for her family, they find out she has powers. And she's like the first red known to have powers. And So that basically starts an entire revolution and war, and there's a love triangle between two of the princes, fun times, and betrayal and heartbreak, and yeah, the first book was so good. I loved the first book. Second book was okay. Third book, could not get through it. Oh my gosh. And so we have two more. I can do it. I can do it. Just gotta lock in. Next, I have the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Myers. I almost said Sarah J. Maas. Don't know where that thought came from. The Lunar Chronicles. I absolutely adore these books. I have read all four of these. I just need to read Stars Above. This is a book of short stories following the characters after the events of this series. And technically there's another book called Ferris. I don't think I'm going to read that one though. It's not necessary, just like this one isn't necessary to the series. But I would love to get more content of these characters, and the character that Ferris follows, no, I'm good. So I think I will definitely stop it after this one. But I do need to read it, and I do count it as a series I still need to finish because of this book. This is a fairy tale retelling, but set in a science fiction world, very futuristic. Cinderella is a cyborg. Cress is Rapunzel. She lives in space, like her tower is in space. Winter, who's supposed to be Snow White, was driven to insanity, so she's a very fun time. I don't care about Scarlet. I won't talk about her. So, yeah, I definitely need to finish these ones, and I can't wait to. Next, I have The Gearbreaker duology by Zoe Hanamakuta. I absolutely adored Gearbreakers. It is a sapphic science fiction where they are enemies. Sona has been enhanced to connect with these giant robots for the government to fight for them. And then Eris, I believe is her name, is a gearbreaker who is a part of the lower class rebellion who are very good at breaking down these giant robots, and it's very cool. Has a little bit of found family, it's sapphic, enemies to lovers, science fiction. Really, what else more do you want me to say? The sequel, Godslayers, I promised myself I would read as soon as it came out, and then I never did, which I feel like is pretty on point for me. So I need to read the second one. I need to read it, guys. I need to read it. Okay, next is I don't know how to do this. The Secret Shanghai series. I think this one's a little bit more complicated because technically, there's the These Violent Delights duology, but they are all in the same world. I associate them in my head as just one series. So I'm counting it as a series. So this one follows Juliet's cousin from These Violent Delights, and I think she's like a secret agent spy, super cool, and yeah. I've read These Violent Delights, Our Violent Ends, and Last Violent Call. So I've read the bottom three. I just need to read this one, and I think it just has a second one. I think it's just two, but I could be wrong. So I need to do that. It's definitely not a priority, but it is one that I want to get done. So there are just other ones that I need to finish first. Next, I have the Mirror Visitor series by Christelle Dabos. I've read the first two, and I just have two left. And I adore these books. I really do need to finish the second two. It's hard because I don't own them, and I feel like if I don't own them, then I don't feel as much of an urgency to read them. But I need to read them. I do. And this follows our main character, Ophelia, as she gets put in an arranged marriage away from her family and has to venture into this world that is so different than what she knows. And they just want to use her for her ability to read objects and walk through mirrors. And she kind of has to find her place in this world. And it's very cool. In the end of the second book, you start to see a little bit of the romance forming. And when I tell you, thinking about that makes you want to scream. I need to finish these ones. I do. I just love them so much. It's such a good series. So magical, and it really does feel like a Studio Ghibli movie. So if you like Studio Ghibli movies, go read that. Just do better than me when it comes to finishing it if you start it. Another one that when I finished it, I never expected that it would be back on this list, and that is The Hunger Games. So obviously I've read the main three, but prequels keep coming out, so I still need to read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And now Sunrise on the Reaping, ? Is coming out. I need to catch up, guys. And I especially kind of want to read the book before I watch the movie, and I still haven't seen the movie. I'm behind. I know. It's disappointing. For the longest time, I've been like, oh, if I'm going to read it, I have to own it. And that is literally not the case. So I need to get over that mindset, and I'm slowly getting over that mindset, but I need to read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes because I've heard so many good things, and again, now a book series that I need to finish. Next is the London Calling series. I believe there's gonna be 3. This one, boyfriend material, follows these 2 characters meeting, fake dating, falling in love. This one, I imagine they're getting married, and then I think the 3rd one is them becoming dads. Very cute. I don't know how to feel though. I've never read a romance book that had a sequel with them just getting married. Could be very good, but could also be very bad. So I'm kind of scared, but we're here and I need to read it. My goal, look at me, look at me. I will finish this before the 3rd one comes out. Will I actually? Probably not, but I'm gonna say it. Next is the Realm Breaker trilogy. I don't have the 3rd one, so ignore the missing one. But these ones are long and very high fantasy, but they're good. The first book was very slow, but it was also just introducing a lot of the characters and their dynamics. So I'm sure the other ones will be a lot quicker, I hope. Even if it's not, it's still gorgeous writing. It's such an amazing world that Victoria Aveyard has created, and some of the character dynamics I'm here for. So, especially 2 of them. I don't remember their names, but I know I love them. So, yeah, I need to read that one as well. And then another one that I didn't think I would get more of, and I keep getting more of because I believe the 5th book in this series just recently came out. That's All for the Game by Nora Sakovic. I read these books so long ago, and then The Sunshine Court came out, and I still need to read it. I think it's a crime that I haven't read it. I think I was waiting a while till it came out in paperback so I can get that, and now I'll end up doing the same for the newest one that I don't know the name of. But I need to finish it. It follows these characters in this made-up sport called Exy, and half of them are involved in the mafia or being attacked by the mafia, either one. And this one doesn't necessarily follow the characters in the first 3. It follows some side characters, and it's literally like fan fiction come true. That's literally what this book is. So I need to read it. I really do. And I was actually planning on reading a lot sooner, but then my holds for other books in different series kept coming in. So this one keeps getting put off. But I do want to read it really soon, and I kind of want to include it in a reading vlog, but I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, because it's not a popular series in the mainstream media. Like, it's more of a side fandom kind of thing, very Tumblr 2010s. So if you want me to read this in a reading vlog, just let me know, and I totally will. But I just don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in considering. One last physical one. It's in a box set, and it's very dusty. As The Darkest Minds. Again, this is another one where I read the first 3 books of, and that is technically the completed trilogy. But there is a companion novel with it. It's called A Darkest Minds Collection. I literally could not tell you what it's about because I've heard conflicting things. So I'm just gonna read to find out. This one is very much just like the Lunar Chronicles. And honestly, I would probably end up reading them back to back, maybe in a reading vlog, because they just both give the same vibes. So I would probably read them kind of together. This one, again, I think was popular and came out right around the time with like Divergent and Hunger Games. So very iconic dystopian era. And it follows this world where all the children got sick and they either died or they got powers. And the government, being terrified of children having powers, decided to lock them away in camps. And they are defined by colors, by like, I think it's like green, yellow, orange, and red. And they like have like different categories. And I could not tell you the bases of the categories anymore. But our main character is an orange. And the thing about that is that they automatically kill all oranges and reds, but she's been like pretending to be a green. And then she gets out of the tunnel camp and finds friends. I love these books. They're so good. Very found family. I just really enjoy them, and I need to watch the movie. There are 2 tasks associated with this one, and I just did not get them out of the box set because it is a pain to get them in and out. what are other book series I need to finish that I don't own? Because I own most of them. There is Jujutsu Kaisen by Geiji Akutami. This one is a manga series that is like a horror manga following this world where curses exist and jujutsu sorcerers exist to get rid of them, and oh my gosh, that world is falling apart and it's devastating. But I do need to finish that one. I'm on number 18 out of 30. So I'm doing pretty good on that one. And then same with My Hero Academia. I'm on number 6 out of 41 on that one. I put that one off to do JJK because the Jujutsu Kaisen anime is still coming out. So I thought I would catch up on those manga before they continue to come out because that's not an experience I've had. Like, I've never read the manga and then watched the anime. So I want to experience that. So that's the point of that one. There's also The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. You can see that one on my wall. That's where the pages are. I thought I wouldn't finish the series, so I tore out all the pages to make wall art. And then I decided, you know what? I kind of want to finish it. So I put it back on the list. And again, very iconic dystopian. I read the first two in junior high, and I never read the third because it took so long to get back into my library that I just ended up putting it off for too long. I do want to read it. I want to reread it and finish the third one, and that one, again, isn't exactly a priority, but it is something I want to do. And then there is the Hollow Star Saga by Ashley Shuttleworth. This one's so random, and none of you've probably heard of it. But the first book is like a dark and hollow star or something like that. It's queer, it has found family, it takes place in a world of fae, very urban fantasy, and it has like kind of like weird D&D aspects to it. So I read the first one my freshman year of college, and I'd never read the rest of them. And I would very much like to do that because I really enjoyed the first one. So that one's on my list, but that one's pretty low on the priority ranking. And then last one is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I just read in my most recent vlog the tandem read that took care of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn together. I just have Kingdom of Ash left. I have one more left in the Throne of Glass series. Like, who cheered? I know I did. So I need to read that one. I don't know when that'll be. It's on hold on Libby. So again, if you want that in a reading vlog, just let me know. I will totally do that. That is the last book series that I need to finish that is currently out. There are a couple of ones that just are unfinished. All of them aren't out yet, so the Alex Stern series by Leigh Bardugo is supposed to be getting a third one. The Heartstopper series is supposed to be getting a sixth. The Vicious series by V. Schwab is supposed to be getting a third. Super exciting. The Empyrean series, as we all know, by Rebecca Yarros. I just read Onyx Storm not too long ago. I've been consistently keeping up with that one, and that has never happened, and I think that needs to be acknowledged. But that one is going to be a while before the next one comes out, so have some time. Deathcast series by Adam Silvera, so They Both Die at the End and The First to Die at the End is getting a third one, which I'm super excited for. I've been keeping up with his writing journey, which is just really exciting, so I can't wait for that one to come out. And then The Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas is supposed to be getting a sequel, but that one has just been delayed a year, unfortunately, but it gives me time to catch up on these other ones, so when that comes out, maybe I'll read it when it comes out, which is such a rare occurrence for me. But that is something I need to do. I just need to catch up on these ones first. So I luckily have time before any of the next ones on those ones come out. So maybe I can lower this number because I have 22 unfinished book series. Is it weird that I think that's a good number considering it used to be almost 40? I have a problem. I recognize it. I'm sure you recognize it. It's a problem. But those are all the book series that I still need to finish. It's a lot. Thank you for sitting with me through this video, but I have been so excited to film this for a YouTube video because I did it for Reels, but I found it so hard to condense it down, so I'm glad I could do a little bit of a longer video with you guys, and very proud of myself for accepting the fact that there are series I need to DNF as well. So thank you so much for watching and sitting with me through this. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, an amazing week. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe below, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye!